Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to You Create Art at Home. My name is Bess, and I'm here with your daily dose of me time. I'm here for you to take 15 minutes out of your day to loosen up, to let the frustrations go, and let me guide you to find your arty side. The aim is to inspire you just a little bit and help you to connect creatively. What do you need? Nothing. You just need to carve out a little bit of me time, which we all need, okay? Other than that, I'm using a pen and I'm using a post it note, both of which are on my desk. The idea of these daily lunchtime sessions is really, you know, sometimes we can go down the route of going and having a donut and a coffee, and some days that's fine, but we can't do that every day because otherwise we're not going to be very healthy. But allowing ourselves just that chance to have a little bit of mental break, bit of me time, bit of refreshment. And sometimes you cannot get out of the office. I understand that. Sometimes you can't go for a walk. You've got a meeting backed up, or you've just come out of a meeting. And whilst you might not have time to watch me live, these will be saved. And so you can dip into them whenever it suits you. Okay. This week, I'm just doing little doodles on post-it notes, keeping it really simple. And each week, I'm going to come to you with another theme or another creative idea to help you stretch a little bit. Nothing too heavy, nothing too hard. And, if we start to get some feedback and I start to get some recommendations, maybe you want to do something with colored highlighters, then we can look to that. But let's just keep it simple to start with. I want us to carve a little bit out of your day, just a tiny bit. And, I'm fine if it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, mind, although I'm doing this at 12:30 around there. If you're looking at this at 5 o'clock, there's no wrong time. If you're looking at me now and you're ready just to have a bit of me time, then you're in the right place at the right time. And that's all that matters. Okay. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to flip the camera in a minute. I am working from home this morning. I've been doing all of my planning and marketing analysis and stuff like that. So I've been working on my desk. So I'm keeping it real. You're on my desk too. You're on a single tripod. I'm going to flip the camera. You're going to have to feel a little bit seasick because I'm going to flip you upside down and then you'll see my desk, and that's where we're going to do our little doodle and chat. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about an experience that I've had, and we're going to do a drawing around that. And hopefully it might give you a chance to, I don't know, think about how that fits in with your life. Think about how, actually, how you're not alone. Quite often when you share experiences, you realize that we've all had them in one guise or another, in one way or another. And you might feel like you're the only person experiencing what you're experiencing right now, but actually, we've pretty much all been there, haven't we? Okay, so are you ready? Here we go. I'm going to flip you over first. Bear with me. So that's why I look cross-eyed now, because I'm looking at the camera. Okay, so there's my millions of computers, but obviously I only have one computer. I haven't got a million hands either. But how cool is that? That's an art piece in itself. I could do this whole kind of dancey thing. All right, so I'm going to flip you down now. Oop, there we go. And now I'm going to lower my tripod so that you get as close to my post-it note as possible. Beautiful. And now I'm just going to add in an extra light so that you have the best light and you can see. So I've just put this one up here right now. Even the longest day is only 24 hours. And that's absolutely right, isn't it? Even when we're feeling like, I don't know, we are at the end of that pier and there is nowhere else to go. If we sat on that pier and we just waited for the sun to go down and the sun to rise on the next day, then there's always a new way to go, isn't there? You just turn around and you walk back off that pier. You don't jump in, and you find a new path to walk, however. And I've definitely been there. We call them sliding door moments, don't we? Where you feel kind of trapped. Definitely you feel alone. And that's kind of what we're going to be looking at today. Feeling trapped. Okay, so let's get a new post-it note. I want you to copy what I'm drawing. Now, if you want to embellish it as we go, then that's absolutely fine. But we're going to take our pen, and I'm just using, a black, this is the one I write with. So this is just a black rollerball. Use whatever you've got at hand. I had another blue one. but I'm going to use black today. So I'm going to have to hold my Post-it as well, just so that it doesn't slip and slide as I draw. The first thing I'm going to do is draw a border. So I'm going to take our pen for a walk. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to draw every single piece because you can just watch and copy. But let's have a chat at the same time, shall we? So you can see I'm just going to spin mine round so that I'm constantly drawing sort of right to left, which is the easiest way of drawing, isn't it? Not if you're left-handed, but it is if you're right-handed. I mean, I'm going to go back only 4 years ago, actually. Well, 5 years. 5 years I've been living in Brisbane. And my husband and I have pretty much ping-ponged from the UK. Then we lived in Sydney. Then we went back to the UK. Then we came back to Sydney. Then we went back to the UK. And now we're in Brisbane. And for various reasons, we went back to have children or somebody was sick or whatever. And so we moved around, and all of that relocating was quite displacing, really. Okay, this bit here, I'm just going to pause the story. This bit here, I'm going to do quite dark. So I want you to do lines in one direction first, like this. And then we're going to spin and do a second direction. Then we're going to spin and do a third direction. So just follow me while I chitter on. And chitter on is Cornish, by the way. I'm from Cornwall, which is southwest England. And we say chitter, which means to chat. So I'm going to chitter on. So yeah, I came back to Brisbane, and you know, my children were all under, I think, 7 when we arrived. And I didn't really have any friends in Brisbane at all. We'd lived in Sydney for 6-7 years, and so all of my friends were down in Sydney. And although Brisbane is an amazing place, and that, you know, the weather is phenomenal and it was very welcoming, you know, I'm just turning 40, and I think I'm probably in the most lonely place I ever was. My husband's job was going great guns, and that was fantastic. And my primary point at this point with tiny little kids, you can see I'm doing just wider stripes here, and I'm letting these little stripes have kind of broken lines, and that's because I'm trying to create shade, but I don't want it to be as thick and as dense as this. So I'm just doing a few broken lines. And his job was going great guns, but I was really lost. Oh, and whilst I was happy being a mum, of course I was, and happy being a wife, I just didn't really understand what my thing was. And I had left the UK. I'd left an art studio behind and a great job. I was head of marketing for a high school. And whilst opportunity was definitely plentiful down here, I obviously came down and first didn't have a job. This is my little table in the corner, by the way. So I'm going to do a little cup of coffee like that. And I'm going to do a book. And I was really lost. I spent a lot of time at home wondering, you know, what I was going to do. I applied for jobs and was struggling to find a job. And actually, there were days when I felt like I was stuck in a room with no door. I felt like I was stuck in the room, and it was quite dark, and I was quite scared. How did I feel? Well, here I am. This is my chair. And it didn't matter how many friends or how many coffee breaks I went on with friends, or, you know, going out for wines of an evening. Sometimes when you don't find your right tribe, when you don't find the right people that sort of fill you up, you feel desperately lonely, don't you? And I come from a very big Cornish family, and we're all very, very close. And I was definitely lonely. I'm just going to spin this because I want to do some lines like a shadow of the back of the chair. Like this. So these are my chair legs. Not perfectly in perspective, but like I say, that's not the point of today's drawing. I'm not teaching you how to draw perspective. We're teaching you how to let go. So this is my chair. And because I want to create some dimension, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow going that way. And then I'm going to draw some long lines going this way, which are going to be the floorboards of my room. And this is my head, really. I was stuck in this place where the kids would go off to school, and I was stuck in this place where actually I felt like I was just stuck in a room. And, you know, daytime TV and all that kind of boredom. And my husband would come home and I'd been watching, I don't know, Jerry Springer or some such junk. And why do we watch that junk? Because it just makes us feel better about the reality of where we are. And actually, the reality of where we are isn't bad either. It's just you're trapped. You're trapped in this merry-go-round of not knowing how to get out. And then all of a sudden, you find a light switch. And the light shines. So here's my light. It's going to be one of those dodgy Reservoir Dogs Pulp Fiction kind of lights hanging above my seat to make it look really, really imposing. And I'm going to draw a great big line down this way and a great big line down this way. Oh, I've just missed that now. So hang on, like that. And then I'm going to make this darker here. And this is going to help us to see that that's a ray of light coming down from that lamp. I'm using the side of my pen, so it's quite scratchy. So I want to go dense there against that line because I want it to be darker where that line is. And then I'm going to go quite scratchy as it opens up. Same here. So dense along that line there. And then I'm going to open it up and get a bit scratchier. It's a very technical term, you know, scratchy. Okay, now I've lost my light, so I'm just going over my light shape a couple more times. There you go. So this room, and suddenly found a light switch. And all it did was highlight even more that I was sat in a room on my own. And I was sat in this room on my own. And I have to say that room on my own was probably for about 2 years, which seems pretty overwhelming. Until I got off my seat and fumbled around, and actually right in front of me, I found a key. The key was there all along, and all I needed to do was pick up that key and explore. And when I explored in the darkness, feeling strong and brave, reaching out, I then found that all along there was a door that I could go through. And that door just needed the key. And the key was me. The key was me, because until I was ready to pick myself up out of that dark room and have the strength to go and do something about it and change my situation, then I'd have carried on sitting in that dark room all on my own. And actually, there's an awful big world just the other side of this door. And it was a fabulous world. It was full of friends and opportunity. And who knew? Facebook Lives. I'm now talking like 5 years. Well, from this dark room, it's now been 3 years on. But I guess what I'm saying, you know, I come across in all these videos is Mrs. Confident and Mrs. Self-Assured and wow, she's got it all together. But no, I was here. This was me. I was sat here thinking, not that coming to Brisbane was the biggest mistake in my life. Of course it wasn't. The kids were happy. My marriage was wonderful and I lived in a fantastic place. But I was really scared about what the future holds. And actually, the future is right through that door. The future is having the strength and the courage to just get up and open it and take the next step on the next bit of your journey. You know, you might end up in another darkened room at some point, but at least with the power of experience, you can deal with it in another way. So that's your daily doodle today. I'm going to flip you back up so I can speak to you face to face. As you can see, I'm not in a dark place anymore. And, you know, it's okay if you are there right now. Finding the right place to let go and explore And try new things. You know, this might be the only time you've sketched in your life since school, and that's okay. No one is expecting you to be the most amazing artist. This is about giving yourself the chance just to breathe and try something new and express yourself in a new way. Because sometimes we get so twisted on our words and so scared of saying it out loud that we don't say it at all. Journaling is one way, and I guess doing doodles is just another form of creative journaling. So I'm going to be here each lunchtime, not in a dark room. That's just one of my stories. Can't remember what I've got for tomorrow, but I've planned a whole week of stories for you. So if you've enjoyed it, then please leave me a message below. I'd love it if you took a picture of your little post-it and shared it with me. And if you think you've got a friend who, or some friends or some work colleagues that could really benefit from having a bit of time out with me during the day, then please feel free to pass my message on to them. Share it with your network, put it on your work bulletin board. Maybe you're a team lead, share it with your team. I'm here to help you just take a deep breath during the day. You know, Kit Kat had the best bit of marketing in my lifetime, which is have a break, have a Kit Kat. Well, that's kind of what Create a Break's about without the chocolate. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow between 12 and 12:30. Have a lovely day. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.